And what's up, everybody? We're back with another episode of the Live, Laugh, Laugh podcast. We are back with Ann Pomeroy today. Garry has been fired. No, he has not been fired. He is just oversleeping. Loser. Garry may or may not pop in as a result. Currently, though, he is not here. We have waited quite a while for him while we've taken care of other tasks, and he has not even said a word. So we're doing it anyways.
Well, if we've taken care of our tasks, he must be the imposter, and that's why he's not here.
I knew I looked weird. I forgot my headphones. There we go. Sorry for the echo that might have been at the start there, because I forgot to put my headphones on. But here we go. We got a lot to go over today. Ann's here because, as we talked about last week, she went to a few soccer games out in Chicago. Got a couple new stadiums there, and then we went to a soccer stadium to check out ourselves as well. Plus, we'll go. I'll talk about it because Garry's not here, obviously, about the West Michigan experience. That you've already seen the vlog for. I'm trying to hold back a sneeze.
That went up yesterday.
It did go up yesterday. And then yeah, got a few other things to go over. So why don't we just get right into it? But Ann Pomeroy, as the guest, will do trivia for us this week. So let's do that first.
All right. It's a Trivial Pursuit card, naturally. The sports question on it is, which North American city has hosted 2 Winter Olympics? See if you can think through your Winter Olympics hosts.
Well, it's North American, so that kind of narrows it down. I can't think of any Canadian cities that have hosted recently, so I'm going to go Salt Lake City.
It's not Salt Lake. It's Lake Placid, New York.
Okay, well, would have never,
Yeah.
never gotten that.
Salt Lake is going to get another one, but they've only hosted once. And then Vancouver was in 2010. That was their first time around. And there's Calgary back in the day as well.
Ew. Calgary. Ew.
Wow.
Well, Vancouver's ew as well, but, you know.
What's wrong with Vancouver, man? At least
riots.
Vancouver seems cool. The riot. Yeah, it's not 2011 anymore. The riots were 15 years ago. I was 6 years old. Anyway, we'll see if Garry can get that later. But anyway, do your thing, host.
All right, so we've got stuff in every sport this week. Let's go.
Woo!
There's a couple quick football things, both involving the Seahawks, and this is really funny. The Seahawks are signing Terrion Arnold.
That's a choice.
The guy who will probably be in jail soon. That the Lions released.
Well, props to Detroit for doing the right thing there.
You're bad when the Lions, the team that can't keep a single defensive player healthy, releases a defensive player. But also because, he's going to be in jail soon. But it's funny that the defending Super Bowl champions have signed him.
Was he good?
Oh, he's ass. He is so bad. He is the NFL leader in pass interference calls. Oh, he is
great.
So bad. He's actually not, the worst cornerback in the planet, but he's never really lived up to his expectations. The other big news that the Seahawks did, they extended Devin Witherspoon to a 4-year, $132 million extension with $101 million guaranteed. This makes Witherspoon the highest paid cornerback in NFL history.
Is that good?
Well, it's about the third or fourth paying record that's been done for a player position this offseason alone. I mean, they broke the running back one just like last week. So, just might be time to impose that, maybe time to cause some restrictions on the salary cap,
We'll see what happens. I mean, the NFL is not necessarily slowing down when it comes to making money. So, I mean, I don't know why they would lower the cap or worry about that,
Yeah.
But you never know. I'm not educated.
See, the Seahawks are spending a lot of money, but at the same time, they get neutralized with Terry and Arnold. So, I don't think it's going to be like in the Los Angeles Dodgers situation. But
you don't think Kenneth Walker III is the next Shohei Ohtani?
Well, he doesn't play for the Seahawks anymore. Remember, he walked in free agency and is now a Chief. So
he's a Chief? Well, the Chiefs dynasty is continuing.
So basically,
I forgot about that.
You be the Seahawks, win the Super Bowl, let your best player walk in free agency, sign the pass interference leader who is going to be going to jail soon, and spend a shit ton of money on a different quarterback or cornerback.
That's my NFL pass interference leader.
That's right, baby. That's all I had for football. Again, we're not going over any of the preseason shit. I don't give a fuck. It's all just boring backups, and the games are terrible, and nobody cares. Like I don't give a shit. So, in basketball related, we have a couple NBA related topics to go over here. The Lakers just got sold to Josh Kushner and Bob Iger for a record-breaking $12 billion.
Oh boy, this is a bad situation. I don't think we wanted the Lakers to be owned by Trump's buddy and former Disney CEO, but you never know.
It's not a super surprising move, I don't think. The thing that people are worried about, and this definitely won't happen now, but these two people were apparently part of the push to expand the NBA to Vegas, which the NBA is the only Big Four league that doesn't have a team already in Vegas or moving to Vegas soon. This probably won't happen now, since I highly doubt they're going to be able to keep the Lakers and also have a Vegas team. And they're certainly sure shit won't move the Lakers to Vegas. That definitely won't happen. But so
there's always Portland.
True. Or there's Memphis.
Well, Portland's moving to Kalamazoo, so we can't have them in Las Vegas.
True.
Oh no, earbuds.
So yeah, I guess I don't know. I mean, the Lakers will still probably be mid as hell because they're the Lakers.
You never know. They did get Luka Doncic for free, so
they did, and they got nobody else to back him up with. And now LeBron's gone.
And now their secret weapon, Bronny, is gone.
Losers. The other NBA news, Russell Westbrook.
Let's try that again.
Russell Westbrook. That's a tongue twister, huh?
He spent 1 year in Sacramento and decided he was done.
Yeah, he hung it up. He has retired. He retires without a ring, which is pretty fitting because he was a pretty arrogant guy and an arrogant player. And so he's done. So, sayonara, Westbrook. I'm not surprised that he has decided. I'm not surprised that he has decided to hang it up. He has been pretty bad since leaving Oklahoma City, and that was almost 10. That was like 5-10 years ago, almost. I mean, he went around to the Lakers for a little bit. He was pretty bad, and then he had a very forgettable tenure with the Kings. So
I didn't forget. I remember.
Well, it's because you were there.
I'll remember it when it's time for Immaculate Grid or whatever the NBA version is called in a few years. Speaking of Immaculate Grid, we'll just talk about Jake Rogers later. But
True.
Anyway, That's the NBA news.
Yeah, that's it for basketball. Again, nothing crazy going on there. The season is still a bit a ways away.
Well, I guess we got Jackson Kohler officially leaving. That's the other basketball news.
I mean, we knew that was going to
We
happen,
kind
though.
of
He entered the transfer.
we figured, but like because of the whole thing, like there was a chance that Izzo was going to bring him back, and then they didn't. So,
Well, I thought he made it clear once the ruling came out that he wasn't going to go back to East Lansing. He was going to stay at home in Utah.
that was well. It sounds like the Louisville's also on the table now, so it's not just
Ew,
BYU. Louisville's the other option. So,
Ew.
it's not like it was. That was originally what he was hoping for, but now he's more open to something else.
Yeah.
So, BYU and Louisville are the two spots where he's most likely going to land. The two places that are kind of pursuing him. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Whatever. So that's it for basketball. Garry had something for hockey. I will just cover it because he's not here. Andre Gantus re-signed with the K-Wings for the upcoming 2026-2027 season. So
Good for him.
He played the 2024-2025 season with the K-Wings and then left and is now returning. So cool stuff there. He scored a career high 39 points last season, so should be a good addition for the K-Wings to maybe make one more playoff run in their arena. That was it for hockey, unless you had anything else. And
I don't think so.
Okay. I figured. So now we can move on to the real meat and potatoes of this episode, which is baseball.
Oh boy.
Well, actually, hold on. Hold on. Hold on 1 minute. We got one more thing I want to touch on before we get to baseball. MSU found a new athletic director. Heavily rumored to be the athletic director for a while. It finally made it official. They poached the Western Michigan AD, Dan Bartholomew.
Yeah. I mean, it's a mixed bag because it's like, he's a great athletic director that I kind of wanted to stay at Western. I was hoping Michigan State could find somebody else because he's been so good at Western, but also it's a matter of time before he gets poached anyway. So at least he's getting poached to the other school that I care about. But he should be a great fit. He's done great things for Western in the time that he's been there. I mean, men's basketball has been terrible, but new hire hopefully will do well there. Football has had its second most successful year ever last year. Obviously, the season before last, Western hockey won the Natty. So, great success in soccer as well, getting a new soccer complex going, all that good stuff. And then the work with the new arena, fundraising, I don't know, the list goes on for him. So, good stuff in Kalamazoo. Happy to see him in East Lansing, but disappointed that he's leaving.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a really good hire because MSU's got a lot of big renovation projects planned for all of their stadiums, and obviously they need to get football out of the shitter so that they aren't looked on as a joke in the sports world. And I think this is a guy that could do that. It's going to be interesting to see how aggressive he is with changes. Seeing how J-Bat made so many aggressive moves and then dipped after a year. Will this guy continue what J-Bat started? He kind of has to at this point because everything's been pretty much implemented. Or will he kind of change some things up? Who knows? It's going to be interesting to see. I do like the hire. He seems like a good guy. But, only time will tell, obviously. Okay, now we'll do baseball. been a lot going on for the Tigers. They are in the midst of a playoff push. And a lot of games happened since our last episode. They've had a homestand last week. And they were against Cleveland to start. For game 1 of the series, they beat Cleveland 6-4. Let's go. That was the first Tigers win over Cleveland this year. Not disappointing at all. I was there. I went to that game. As I talked about in last episode, that I was going to go to that game. Nothing really crazy to note from that game. Nothing crazy happened. I didn't get anything crazy except it was the first time that I've ever sat in left field there for a game, and I gotta say it was pretty cool. You get a fairly dead-on shot of home plate, which I didn't expect. Good views of the stadium from there. The only thing I'd really say as a complaint is that that's the section, that the area of the stadium I was in was the last part to get shaded, and it was a very hot day, so that wasn't super fun. But once the sun went down, it was fine. It wasn't super terrible. And also the section that I was in is not labeled on the concourse. You have to go down actually into the section to see the section numbers, which was a little confusing. I feel like they could have done a bit better of a job at that, but it's only 2 sections. I don't think they really care. Other than that, it was fine. Kenley Jansen did more of his trolling, and Cleveland scored 1 run in each of the final 3 innings to almost have the Tigers blow the 5-run lead. Kenley Jansen had 2 on with 1 out in the 9th, and Cleveland almost hit a 3-run bomb to go ahead. I hit the warning track, but as he has done so many times this season, when he decides to troll, he locks in, and the Tigers hold on for victory. So that was fun. I would have been very pissed had that game gone to extras or they'd lost. But in game 2, they did lose. They lost to Cleveland 6-4. It's the exact same score, just a different team winning. So that wasn't fun. But then they rebounded and beat Cleveland 3-0 to take the series over Cleveland. A huge series win there. Another shutout win, so it was a big step for the Tigers. They're feeling all sorts of momentum. They just take a series over Cleveland. They are right in the wild card hunt. They're only 2.5 back of the division, and the White Sox, who's leading the division, come into town. They are white hot. They've got everything behind them. And the White Sox completely embarrassed the Tigers.
It's a double agent Jake Rogers' fault.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Which is crazy how it worked out for him. But they start first game 1, Jackson Jobe on the mound after his very, very good return to the league against the Giants a few days prior. And the White Sox go off for 9 runs, and they beat the Tigers 9-5. Not good. Very not good. But, you know what? Jobe is only second game back. We got Milton on the mound in game 2. And me and Ann are coming in person to watch the game. They have to win, right? No. Troy Milton gets absolutely brutally murdered, and the Tigers can't keep up on offense. And they lose 4-3.
How much of this podcast is you holding that face into the camera?
When the Tigers lose, it's necessary. Anyway, funny enough, Jake Rogers got moved is now a White Sox, and his first game as a White Sox was this game. And so he got a big welcome back ceremony when he came up to his first at bat, and then the Tigers got a double play out of it, and it was funny.
Yeah, that's why he was released in the first place.
He went 0 for 4 in his first game as a White Sox back on Tigers field, and which I thought was really funny because that is classic Jake Rogers. But I mean, the Tigers were the fans were like very happy to see him back. I mean, it wasn't really his fault that he left, so I can't say like I was super mad at him, but also he sucked, so there's that, I guess. But yeah, this game was brutal. Melton had his worst game of the season by far. The White Sox seem to start off every inning with a double, and yeah, that's just not a method for winning if you're the other team. And Spencer Torkelson comes up, 2 bats. He had 2 at bats with the Tigers down 1, and did jack shit with either of them. So that was great. But I mean, we had good seats. The game was fun. Ann Pomeroy cooking with the seat selection of the terrace. Padded seats, had our own little table. The guy next to us, to the left of us, was a little weird. I don't know if he was actually supposed to be there or not. It's kind of just like
To
the guy in the Lakers jersey, yeah.
our listing on Reddit the whole game.
Well, the guy to the right posted on Reddit, and then Ann found the Reddit post.
The White Sox, Broncos, Florida Panthers fan.
That's a crazy combo.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We could have gotten. Speaking of crazy combos, we were at Little Caesars. We went past Little Caesars Arena.
True, we did.
Crazy combo.
True.
Get it.
We love.
Okay, I'm done with stupid jokes.
We love.
Crazy combo sounds good.
Oh, Little Caesars sounds so good right now. Anything else crazy that I should mention about the game? I don't know. I mean, it was like Ferris theme day. There was like a cool Ferris University.
Oh yeah.
Ferris State dog.
There wasn't a ton. There was live music. It was really annoying. All the concourses smelled like burnt onions.
They did. They were burning onions like crazy. And that music thing happened. The music thing happens every game. This was my 6th home game this year, and they played live.
They should abolish it.
One. I don't know. I mean, when it's good music, I don't mind it. And this was like the first time all season that it's been good music. So they probably cater it to the old people that come to the day games. So
yeah, just like all of the music that they play in between literally every single pitch. And it's like, I don't need to hear the start of a Red Hot Chili Pepper song between 1 and 1 and 1 and 2 on a random at bat in the top of the 4th inning. But we have to hear the first 10 seconds of it every time.
Type shit. Nothing else crazy. It was the Tigers just got absolutely annihilated. They lose the series. Not fun. What we did the rest of that day, we'll get to in a little bit. But
do you want to do that now, actually? We're going into soccer.
No, we got to finish baseball, and then we will talk about that. But they have a chance to salvage... The Tigers had the chance to salvage a game in the series against the White Sox, Game 3. Not the best pitcher on the mound, but he did really, really well. And the Tigers had a 4-1 lead after the 3rd inning, thanks to Colt Keith doing something other than getting out. And some guy had his first career hit. It was a triple. I don't remember who the fuck that was, but Tigers had a 4-1 lead, and the offense proceeded to only get 2 hits after the 3rd inning, and they didn't score a single run. And meanwhile, the White Sox pop off for 5 runs during that period, and the Tigers blow the lead and lose again 6-4. They get swept at home by the White Sox. Not good at all. That pretty much kills their chances at the division, in my opinion. They do have one more series against the White Sox on the road, funny enough, it's been White Sox sweep, Tigers sweep, White Sox sweep. So hopefully the Tigers can sweep the last series. They draw even. I think White Sox will still get tiebreaker because of like divisional record or something like that. But can draw even a little bit there. But it really set them back in the wild card race. It really set them back in the divisional race, as it is really starting to become a 4-horse race for the division between Detroit, Chicago, Cleveland, and Minnesota. And the wild card race, it's coming down between like Detroit, Toronto, Minnesota, Cleveland, Baltimore, Texas. I mean, there's so many teams still pushing for that wild card spot that getting swept, especially at their home turf, you can't do that. The Tigers been ass at home lately, and I just don't understand. I don't understand why. I really don't. But that was that. Now they're on the road, taking on Pittsburgh. They're on another road trip. They're going to be Kansas City after this. But right now they're in Pittsburgh, playing the Pirates. They won Game 1 of the series against Pittsburgh 8-5. That was after a massive 6th inning, which saw a total of 78 pitches thrown between both teams. But the Tigers hold on there for the 8-5 win. But they lost Game 2 4-1 because the offense couldn't do shit. And a nobody that the Pirates have on the mound threw a gem. So hopefully today, they're playing right now. The game's probably over at the time of this video going up, but hopefully they've won the 3rd game of the series. Probably not because it's a Paul Skeens start, but you never know. Hopefully Jackson Jobe doesn't get beat up today like he did in the last game. All right, anyway. Gary's not here, so I will cover his baseball topics. So starting with the Lugnuts. I can pull up. Yeah, here we go. So last we checked in on the Lugnuts, they were closing in on potentially spoiling the party for a playoff spot, as they were heading out to West Michigan for a big rivalry series with the Whitecaps. Started off great. They took Game 1 5-2. This was after a pitcher's duel turned into a late offensive explosion for the Nuts. So did really well there. And then we get to the game that me, Gary, and Noah attended. We wanted to go out. We wanted to see them. Wanted to see the stadium to knock out the last of the Midwest League stadiums in Michigan. So we decided to head out for this one. And before I talk about the game, I want to talk about our experience at the stadium. Now, Ann Pomeroy has been to this stadium before, a couple times, so she can chime in on some opinions and thoughts here. What the fuck? What is this? No, get out of here. Okay, ad. I don't remember. The stadium is all right. It's a nice stadium in my opinion, and you'll see in the review today that came up at the same time of this episode. But it just felt pretty bland. You know, it's very corporate. There's not a lot of like theming to it. There's a ton of premium seating areas. They definitely go for the more expensive experience. You know, I'm sure they have a very well paid CRM officer. But this just, it was fine. You know, like at least like the Loon Stadium has a vibe to it. You know, it has the fireplace with the really nice concourse, and you know, kind of have more of a lawn area. Like, there's not really a lawn area for Whitecaps. The only the only lawn area is behind the bullpen, so it's not really much of a lawn area because there's a lot of mud there. And the other area, like the concourse, was very small. There's nothing really going on there. $31. By the way, $31 tickets to a minor league baseball game is a fucking ripoff. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not worth it at all, in my opinion. I get some days they're probably cheaper, so when it's cheaper, I'd say it definitely could be worth it, but it just no. But I like they do show a lot of pride for being affiliated with the Tigers, which is cool because I'm a Tigers fan, so it was cool to see that. Also, the food is outrageously expensive, but it was good food, so it's whatever. The pins are pretty cheap, like $5-6 for a pin. Not too bad price there. So I guess that's where the food makes up for it. I guess I don't know. I mean it was all right. It's pretty mid. I would say it's definitely third on my Midwest League ballpark rankings. I think Ann Pomeroy would have the same testament to that.
Well, I mean, I've been to four. It's worse than South Bend. It's worse than Lansing. It's better than Midland.
You'd say it's better than Loons? That's crazy.
I mean, I think so. Like, I mean, it has some positives, but it has some drawbacks.
Well,
I think they're about the same.
Yeah, like, I'd say they are pretty similar in my opinion. Yeah.
Loons just has more like outfield, but that's real, or not outfield, but like seating options out there. I don't know. I don't know. I think they're about the same, but definitely worse than Lansing. Definitely worse than South Bend. South Bend is pretty good.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I'll get out to see South Bend next season.
Perhaps.
Hint, hint. But then the game was the craziest part of it all. Going into the 8th inning, West Michigan was up 1-0, thanks to a Lugnuts mishandled ground ball. And the Lugnuts had gotten a single hit all night, despite drawing about 7 walks and also a mishandled pop-up by West Michigan. They could not capitalize. The Lugnuts even had a man on third, despite not having a hit, and could not bring them home. But then the 8th inning comes along, and they explode. They get 3 runs, break the no-hitter, take a 3-1 lead. Everything seems to be going right for the Nuts. And then we get to the bottom of the 8th. And guess what? Another mishandled ground ball gets a guy on base for West Michigan with 2 outs. And at this point in the game, Garry looked over to me and was like, it's okay. Still 2 out. Just got to get the next guy out, right? Like, well, you can't give them any momentum. And I was right. Next pitch. 2-run bomb. Game is tied. Very, very disappointing. But the game's only tied. We get to the 9th inning. And we end up... Jeffy was pissed because this was now the 4th straight baseball game that he has attended that has gone to extra innings, which I think is really fucking funny. We go to the 10th, tied at 3. Lugnuts get a 2-run bomb. They're back up to 5-3. All right, they are 3 outs away with a 2-run cushion. They couldn't get a guy out to save their life. West Michigan loads the bases. Then the Lugnuts walk a guy home. Then a wild pitch brings another guy home. And then eventually a sac fly. And West Michigan wins the game 5-6 in 10 innings. Very, very bad. Very bad outing there. Very unfortunate. The Lugnuts rallying from not even having a hit to having a 5-3 lead. And yeah, it was a very demoralizing loss. I was ready. I was ready to play the Lugnuts song as we left the ballpark. I couldn't. Which sucked. And Garry, I don't know how much you can really. I don't know how much I really captured in the vlog of how pissed Garry was, but he was ready to start killing people. He was ready to start killing random West Michigan fans. That's how mad he was. It was bad. It was bad. But nothing happened. Garry somehow did not get banned from the stadium despite saying racial slurs pretty much the entire night.
What?
He did say he did say a couple, but he didn't say them all.
What?
Garry,
Is that why he's not on the spot? Is that why he got fired?
Garry was on something during that game. Okay, Garry took it personally. So, anyways, they lost game 2 of the series. How'd the rest of the series go? Not great for the Lugnuts. They lost game 3, 7-5. They lost game 4, 5-3. They lost game 5, 10-6. And they lost the series finale, 12-6. The Lugnuts lose 5 out of 6 to the Whitecaps in their final series of the season. Very, very bad. That pretty much takes them out of the playoff race entirely. They are now 8.5 back. They are back to the bottom of the division. So that pretty much kills it. With only 18 games left, well, now 17 because they are back home playing Peoria this week. I will be there for 3 of the games, working, including today's game that I will be going to after we are done with this podcast. But they won game 1, 6-5. So the Lugnuts get back on the winning train there. 17 games left. They are 8.5 back of the playoffs, so not technically eliminated yet, but it's going to be a very tough climb for them. They have 5 more against Peoria, then they have a series at Great Lakes Loons, and then they finish off the season at home against Fort Wayne. So that is that for the Lugnuts. The Growlers are done for the year, so no more Growlers stuff. I did have one more MLB general related thing. It's a record rookie debut for Joshua Baez of the Cardinals, who in his debut hit 3 home runs. The first time anybody has ever done that in MLB history. It's a good job for him. That's a pretty impressive thing to do in your MLB debut. All right. Oh, yeah. So the Growlers are done for the year, but the Northwoods League playoffs was still going on. And Garry was supposed to update that, but, he's not here. So I will do it. They wrapped up their season. So we'll just go over the results here. Shit. I don't remember where the fuck it is. What the fuck is this? What the fuck? Playoffs. What the fuck? What is this? What is this place? What is this place? It's loading. Stop loading. What the Sigma? This isn't it. Let's go with this. So we'll go back to one more last week's episode. Okay, here we go. So last we had checked the final round of scores here. Royal Oak was the only Michigan Northwoods League team in the playoffs. They were playing Madison. and they beat Madison actually 6-1. St. Cloud eliminated Wilmar 10-9. And then Eau Claire beat La Crosse 3-1. And then so we come down to Royal Oak got the bye to the championship game. So now it comes down between in the semifinal match between St. Cloud and Eau Claire. St. Cloud beat Eau Claire 10-5. So the championship game this past Thursday between Royal Oak and St. Cloud. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2026 Northwoods League champion, the Royal Oak Leprechauns. We have a Michigan team winning it again as they beat St. Cloud 3-1 to win the title. Congratulations, Royal Oak.
Yay!
I should have went out and seen you this year.
Next year, it'll happen.
Ooh, excuse me. Okay.
Yikes.
All right, one last baseball thing. Scranton Wilkes Bar, is that how you pronounce them?
Scranton Wilkes-Barre.
They changed their branding.
Why? We killed them.
We did kill them. We were there.
We were there. We saw the brawl.
We did the brawl. We killed it.
We killed the branding. I don't know. We'll see. But it's always a nightmare when you're trying to share two cities like that. Like, same thing with the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. It's just like rough. It's just a mouthful. That's right about Scranton/Wilkes-Barre rail riders when they're not in either city. I mean, they're kind of between it, but like, there's a reason that they're not the Minneapolis/St. Paul Twins or the Los Angeles/Anaheim Angels, or
Right.
you know what I'm saying? The Oakland/Sacramento/Las Vegas Athletics. So like, there's a reason nobody else does it.
I just wanted to highlight that, especially because we visited them earlier this year. Okay.
Check out the vlog.
Do check out the vlog. It's a ride.
That applies to like 4 topics today.
Okay, we're finally done with baseball. Moving on. I will let Ann take it over for some soccer-related content. Ann went out to Chicago and saw some soccer stuff.
All right. Well, we're actually gonna finish baseball because I did technically go to Rate Field for a baseball game on August 9th against the Guardians. I was there for an inning and a half before it started pouring, and then I had to leave. We got Tyler a bobblehead. That was fun.
Oh yeah,
It's a good
bobblehead in my collection.
So that was cool, I guess. It was gonna be fun. I was having fun. It was a good game, and then it stopped. So that's unfortunate. But anyway, we're gonna do. Oh yeah. Then I took the train all the way up to Evanston, and went to Northwestern Medicine Field at Martin Stadium. That's a mouthful. It's the temporary lakefront soccer/football stadium in Evanston on the campus of Northwestern University. So Northwestern took their primary soccer field, beefed it up, added giant temporary bleachers to the north and south end zone, because as their football stadium is being renovated, it's almost done. As that was being renovated and taken care of, they got what am I trying to say? They needed a place to play. They played some games at Wrigley, and they played some games at this lakefront stadium. So, the National Women's Soccer League team, the Chicago Stars, formerly the Red Stars. I'm going to mix it up because the Stars is a stupid name compared to the Red Stars. The Chicago Red Stars are playing now at this field, Evanston. I got to check it out. kind of sparsely attended. There were a couple thousand people there. I sat kind of top of the north bleachers, which gave you the best view of the lake and the best view of the skyline. So high up in section N4 N5 if you end up going there between now and here. Highly recommend it for the views. North end was just bleachers. South end was nice with some chairbacks, but they're pretty, flimsy temporary chairbacks. They weren't the greatest. East and west side, they were checking tickets along both sidelines, so I couldn't actually go up there, but it looked like pretty standard stuff. So it was all right. The actual soccer was fine. It was pretty competitive. It was another 0-0 draw, so Tyler's going to freak out about that. But it was a pretty action-packed game. And I don't know. It was great vibes. It was beautiful, obviously. Every part of it was beautiful. There's a little area where you could walk alongside the lake and stuff, too. Pretty good activations happening south end zone. There was a little open fan area. They had cornhole, and they had face painting for the kids, and concession stands and stuff. They had bathroom trucks. They were literal trailers that had 3 bathrooms each in it because they wanted something fancier than porta potties for that end of the stadium. But there were also porta potties and bathrooms that were originally part of the facility. There were a couple of concession stands on each side. There were food trucks as well. I just got their basic concessions. It looked pretty normal. It was just a big tent with the soda fridges and stuff. A little expensive, but it's Illinois. So I don't know. All this considered, great experience. I'm happy I went, but also it's not the optimal way to watch soccer or football. And the new Ryan Field and the new McDonald's Park, which will open in a couple of years for soccer, will be better venues for sure. But this is awesome, and it has a cool view. So check it out if you can before next year. Next year, the Stars are going to play here. We'll see what happens after.
Cool shit.
Then I slept. Then I went to bed. Then I ended up the next day in Bridgeview, Illinois, for the MLS Next Pro game. There were 100 people at this game because it was a Monday at 3 p.m. against, between reserves that don't actually, I don't know. It just wasn't useful. But I got to see SeatGeek Stadium, which was the former home of the Red Stars. The Fire still play some games there. The Hounds of Major League Rugby play there. But we got to do that. It's pretty nice. It's chairbacks all the way around except for one upper deck section. The upper deck is, I think, bleachers with backs. So very nice. No issues with again, there were 100 people, so I could do whatever I wanted. But it seemed like you could handle the crowds pretty well. Very wide concourses, lots of different facilities, and lots of different places. You had to go up a big flight of stairs to get to the main concourse, which is weird. So there ended up being an outside pavement concourse than the actual concourse, kind of like at Michigan Stadium, I think. But anyway, a little bit strange vibes, but it's a nice building that I'm happy I checked out. Anything else you want me to cover on that before we move on to Detroit City?
No, I mean, from the pictures you sent, it wasn't they're not the most elaborate stadiums on the planet, but
no, I mean they're pretty simple.
The second one you visited looked pretty cool, though. Honestly,
it is neat. It's just way out in the burbs, so it was I had to take a train and then I had to take a bus. And so it took over an hour each way to get to from downtown on transit. If we drove, it would be fine, but yeah.
By the way, speaking of soccer stadiums, before we get to Detroit City FC, when we were out in West Michigan, we drove past what's going to be the new AC Grand Rapids Stadium.
Oh yeah.
That stadium going to look pretty fucking sweet. I gotta say,
yeah, it'll be fun. Next year we'll go.
I might work there.
You might work there. That's true.
Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, it does look like a new. It
Yeah.
does look like a pretty cool stadium, though. It's right alongside the highway, so when you're watching soccer, you can just hear the cars go by too. It's been fun.
Same
Anyway,
thing with Whitecaps, right next to the highway.
that is true. That is true. You get a good view of trees and a highway and a parking lot.
All right, let's
Uh,
wrap it up.
yeah, the other new soccer stadium we visited was the second part of our day in Detroit when we saw the White Sox annihilate the Tigers. We saw Detroit City FC Stadium before it closes, and that vlog will come out tomorrow, and the stadium review will come out on Friday. Just give a little synopsis of it. Stadium is nothing crazy. It's definitely in need of a replacement. I will give it that. However, I liked the vibes of it. Kind of felt like I was kind of at a NASCAR race with all the vendors and tents and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
At the same time, you were at a college basketball game with the student section, supporter section vibes.
That is true. That was cool. I wasn't expecting that. I know that soccer has a very, very deep fandom and people love their teams, but for a team like this, I wasn't expecting that. But it was really cool. Except for when the pink and yellow smoke blew over to us and it stunk horribly. But what are you gonna do? So I really enjoyed that state. I really enjoyed that experience, though. Except it was a 0-0 tie. How
Tyler
fun is
can't
that?
handle. Tyler can't accept that soccer matches are fun and exciting, even when there's not a score. There's more to life than score and watching.
That true?
Yes.
There were Detroit City
Like
FC.
you saw like three off the crossbar.
Yeah, Detroit should have scored at least 2 goals because 2 of them hit the crossbar. But that's whatever. I was very, but I was like getting really. I was like that. Like I call it the student section. It's not actually a student section because it's the pro team.
Supporters section.
I was really hoping to be able to see what that they would do if Detroit scored a goal. It
It would have been nice to Discord, yeah.
But no, it was all right. I mean, I think $30 for that ticket was a little much, honestly. But
Yeah, but it was dynamic pricing by a SeatGeek, so people realized that everyone was trying to do the doubleheader like we were, and packed it. It was a solid crowd. So clearly their pricing strategy worked.
Was technically sold out according to the stadium.
It was pretty. It was very full.
It was full for sure. Also, the stadium being pretty close to a jail is
Tyler.
Yeah.
You have to cross train tracks if you want to get to it, and also who cares?
Anyway, I may not really have any much else to say about the stadium that I won't talk about in my review. I mean, it's old. It needs to be replaced. I'm not surprised they're getting a new stadium soon. But I don't know. I mean, it's a cool environment, though. If you're a soccer fan, I would 100% recommend going out to the stadium.
Even if you aren't a soccer fan, do it.
No, don't spend $30.
Do it while you can. Do it while you can. There are other games that are cheaper, or you can see the women's team for a lot cheaper, I think.
Women's soccer. That one's fun. Women's soccer is fun. Anything else you want to add about the stadium?
No, I think we're all set.
Okay.
The Fago was yummy.
The Fago was
Fago.
The one you got was not yummy. The one I got was alright.
I liked the one I got. All right, wrap it up, Pringle.
We got one more topic. How could we forget NASCAR? If you need to leave.
Oh yeah, how could I forget a Joey Logano domination?
Richmond with the next gen car. That's what it was. But no, the truck race was all right. Again, like it got rain delayed, postponed to the same day as the Cup race. There was some good racing action around the track, but very low amount of cautions. There was some good back and forth action though on the track. Shane Van Gisbergen started on the pole in his truck debut, and he did all right to start till he got a pit penalty, and then he realized that you can't pass at this track anymore. That opened the door for Caden Honeycutt, who was the other dominant truck of the day, to take the victory. So Caden Honeycutt with the win. So good job there for the 11 team. And then the cup race was a snooze fest. There was only 2 cautions outside of the stage breaks. One was for Zane Smith, being Zane Smith, and one was for Carson Hocevar missing a shift and blowing the motor. Yeah. So, it's whatever. And tires were the big thing. I mean, the fact that I keep repeating myself when I say this, but the fact that there is a necessary need for green flag pit stops in a short track race when there's stage breaks is ridiculous. Okay, they should not be splitting the stage up into 3 or 4 pit stops because the tires can't handle even an ounce of racing. Like, Goodyear, what are you doing there? Like, come on, like, get somebody else to make the fucking tires. Okay, they should be able to go. Unless there's a caution, they should not be needed to make a pit stop during the stage. They really shouldn't. But such is life, I guess. The race would come down between Chase Briscoe and Joey Logano. Joey Logano, with the more expertise under his belt, would hold off Chase Briscoe for the win to score his, I believe, 2nd win of the year. And his 3rd at Richmond. And don't look now, folks, but Joey Logano is closing in on top 5 in the points as we get close to the chase. Even Year Merchant is back
1
again.
point out of 8th right now.
He deserved it. I mean, it's, he did about what he needed to do. I guess it's better than Austin Dillon trying to kill people to win the race, but and Joey Logano had a really cool burnout at the end. I will give him that. He had a really cool burnout at the end, so good job for Logano. But again, Richmond's probably the worst track on the schedule with this car. I said it. There's just nothing charmful about it anymore at all. Like, with tires being so bad, nobody wants to pass each other. Nobody can pass each other because it's so aerodynamically dependent. And it's, yeah. So that's my thoughts. But anyway, that was it for Richmond. Garry, again, is not here, and I don't remember what we did for poker chips, so we can't do poker chips this week at all. So we will catch that back up next week. I do have some other NASCAR news to quickly go over. Noah Gragson signed a contract extension for another year to stay in the 4-car. I don't know what constituted that other than potential sponsorship, but I don't know how much sponsors he really brings in. So, cool, I guess. And then Ty Gibbs is doing a special M&M's throwback scheme to honor Kyle Busch. Or was that this week? Was that this weekend? Oh no, that's gonna be at Bristol. Yeah, it's gonna be at Bristol. It's a really cool looking scheme. I gotta give him a lot of credit for that, especially with yesterday being Kyle Busch Day, 8/18. So I love it. I like the scheme. Also, they found the driver for the 48 after Bowman retires. Can you guess?
Connor Zilic.
Connor Zilic.
Crazy.
Out of all drivers that they could have chosen, they chose this guy who can't keep his car clean to save his life. To be fair, I guess he has finished the last 2 races, so he's getting better in that regard. But Connor Zilic will be going to the 48 car in 2028. Okay. I better see some improvement next season from Zilic if he wants to continue to try and be in good equipment. And wow, the downfall of Hendrick is upon us, folks. If that's not the case, at least.
I'm preying on their downfall, so that's good news. But I don't think he'll be that bad in Hendrick equipment.
That's good. Then otherwise, the only other thing I had for NASCAR, they did arrest a suspect in the home invasion of Greg Biffle. You guys remember, right around the time of his helicopter crash, people broke into his house and robbed him. And they finally found somebody, or they finally charged somebody. His name is Terrell Williams. He's 44. He got charged with the burglary. So I hope that he is in jail for the rest of his life, because that is downright diabolical, and he should never see the light of day again. But yeah, again, no poker chips this week because Gary's not here and he did not join during the episode. So that's really it. Next week we'll recap New Hampshire. They got New Hampshire coming up this week for NASCAR. We'll keep going with the baseball stuff. Not going to any new stadiums this next week. The next new stadium for me probably won't be until U of M. When we go see Western play U of M football. That's 2 weeks from Saturday. So
Coming up.
So that should be fun. But yeah, so hopefully Gary's back next week. Ann will not be here next week, so hopefully Gary is here. Otherwise it'll be another solo episode, and that is those episodes aren't fun to do. But he should be back. So thank you to Ann Pomeroy for coming on, and otherwise, that's going to do it for this episode, so stay tuned for much more amazing content for both me and Ann Pomeroy, and until next time, we'll see you guys later. Bye.